All right, let's talk about something absolutely fundamental to project management, a concept that brings order to pretty much any kind of project you can think of, the 5 process groups. We're going to break it all down. We've all been there, right? A new project starts and it just feels like total chaos. A storm of ideas, tasks, people, and deadlines. So the big question is, how do you take that chaotic energy and actually turn it into a successful, well-run project? Well, turns out there's a framework for that. And the answer, it really lies in understanding what we call process groups. Now, don't think of these as just boring steps. Think of them as a mental model, a powerful way to organize your thinking. They are, quite literally, the foundation for managing a project from that first spark of an idea all the way to the finish line. Okay, let's get the official definition out of the way, straight from the project management body of knowledge, the PMBOK guide. It calls them logical groupings of project management processes used to achieve specific project objectives. Kind of formal, I know, but those 2 words, logical groupings, are the key to the whole thing. So let's cut through the jargon. What does that really mean? It's simple. Process groups are just the 5 main buckets of work you have to think about to get any project done. That's it. They give you a high-level roadmap for the entire journey. So let's meet these 5 groups. I like to think of them as the 5 pillars that hold up the entire project. If you understand these, you understand the fundamental flow of pretty much any project out there. And here they are: initiating, planning, executing, monitoring and controlling, and finally closing. It just makes sense, right? It's a logical flow. So let's actually dig into what happens inside each of these pillars. First up is initiating. Now, this isn't just about having a cool idea. This is the official stuff. It's about getting the formal green light. This is where you create things like the project charter, you figure out who your key stakeholders are, and you get that official go to actually start spending money and using resources. Okay, once you're authorized, you move into planning. And oh boy, this is a big one. If initiating was about the what and why, planning is all about the how. This is where you build that detailed roadmap. You nail down the scope, you refine your objectives, and you map out basically every single thing that needs to happen. They say failing to plan is planning to fail. And it's so true. Good planning right here is what saves you from headaches later on. And then we get to executing. This one's pretty easy to understand. It's where the work actually gets done. All that planning comes to life. Your team is busy, they're completing tasks, building the thing you said you'd build, and making the project a reality. This is the engine room of the project. Now, while all that work is happening, this next group is running right alongside it: monitoring and controlling. Think of this as the project's GPS. It's not a separate step you do later, it's happening constantly. You're tracking progress, you're measuring how you're doing against that plan you made, and if you start to drift off course, this is how you spot it and make a correction to get back on track. And at last, we get to closing. This is so much more than just sending a "we're done" email. This is about formally wrapping everything up. It's about getting the final sign-off from your client, documenting all the valuable lessons you learned along the way, and archiving everything properly. It provides that clean, official end to the whole endeavor. Okay, I need you to lean in for this one, because this is a super common point of confusion. We have to talk about the difference between process groups and project phases. They are not the same thing. Let's break it down like this. Process groups are categories of your management work. They're your project manager toolkit. On the other hand, project phases are chunks of time in the project's life, like a design phase, a build phase, or a test phase. They are sections of the timeline.
And here is why that distinction is so important. These 5 groups are not a one-and-done sequence. You will often use all 5 process groups inside a single project phase. For instance, during the build phase, you're obviously executing the work, but you're also monitoring your progress, and you might even be planning for the next batch of tasks. See how they overlap?
Now, this whole framework isn't some ancient relic. It's a living concept, and it has evolved to stay relevant, especially as you look at how the PMBOK guide has changed over the years. So back in PMBOK 6, it was all about that classic formal definition. Then PMBOK 7 came along and really emphasized flexibility, saying, hey, these groups apply no matter how you work, agile, waterfall, you name it. And now, with PMBOK 8, the idea has been modernized again, rebranding them as practical focus areas. And this quote from PMBOK 8 really nails the modern approach. The logic of these 5 groups can be applied through formal processes, yeah, but also through just informal team practices or flexible policies. The focus has shifted to the outcome, not just the paperwork. So after all of that, why does this still matter so much? What is the big takeaway for you, whether you're running a massive corporate project or just trying to organize a family vacation? When you boil it all down, these 5 groups give you a really powerful way to think about and organize any complex project. You're just breaking the work into 5 logical buckets: getting started, making a plan, doing the work, checking your progress, and wrapping it up. The key things to remember are that they aren't the same as phases, and today it's best to think of them as flexible focus areas. And that's what I want to leave you with. The next time you kick off a project, big or small, just pause for a second. Don't just dive into the tasks. Ask yourself, how could thinking in terms of these 5 focus areas, initiating, planning, executing, monitoring, and closing, bring just a little more clarity and a lot more strength to whatever you're trying to achieve?